ground. Hey, everybody, bring a friend. Hey, everybody, come and help me sing. All are welcome here. Lay your burdens down. All are welcome here. Your own hallowed ground. All are welcome here. We'll bring our bread with you. All are welcome here. Help you find your truth. All are welcome here. Come on and sing it with me. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. Yeah, yeah. Hey, everybody, come on down. Hey, everybody, gather around. Hey, everybody, bring a friend. Hey, everybody, come and help me sing. All are welcome here. Lay your burdens down. All are welcome here. Your own hallowed ground. All are welcome here. We'll bring our bread with you. All are welcome here. Help you find your truth. All are welcome here. Sing it to your neighbor, yeah. All are welcome here. Everybody, all are welcome here. Come on, sit down, join in and up. All are welcome here. Come on now, all are welcome here. Everybody, all are welcome here. All are welcome here. Big ending. All are welcome here.
Welcome, everybody. It's wonderful to be here with you. My name is Carolyn Jansen, and I'm welcoming you to our community today and our Sunday service.
And my name is Carl, and I'm glad to be with you all and people out there in the hinterlands.
We want to greet and bless everyone who is watching online. Your presence adds so much to our service. Thank you for being with us. Please join me in welcoming our featured musician, Jami Lula. Joined by Tyler on the keyboards and Dusty on bass and Dan on drums, and our own very own Lisa is our Unity song leader today. Thank you for sharing your music with us. Jami will not only share his music with us in this service, but he will also be here at the concert right after church today at 2 o'clock. And you can meet him after the service on the patio, where you can also purchase some of his music. We are so blessed to have you here, Jami. Thank you.
I think, maybe it's in the announcements later. But there is a potluck meal at 1 o'clock today, too. I guess we'll comment on that later. Reverend Kristen will deliver today's 7th out of 7 messages using the book Ordinary Mystics. And this is titled Ordinary Mystics Unveiled.
And before we begin, I invite you to take your phones and turn them off to silence so we can enjoy this sacred time together.
Now let's take a moment to be thankful for the land our center rests upon. This is Bay Miwok and Ohlone land. And we are grateful for the Bay Miwok and Ohlone people, certainly of the past and of the present, for living in and loving these grounds for thousands of years, really, in Contra Costa County. But we also dedicate ourselves to taking care of not only these beautiful grounds, but all of Mother Earth.
Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Our vision for the world is, and let's say this together, we envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness. Our mission is who we've come here to be. We are a loving, inclusive community, expanding and living our divinity in sacred service for all.
And our core values are love, connection, service, and wisdom. If you're with us for the first time, welcome. And if you feel comfortable doing so, please raise your hand so we can give you a welcome packet. Nice to see you here today. Thank you. Right in the middle in the maroon sweater. You can get her from the backside. So in addition to information about Unity in this packet, there's also a $10 coupon that you can use for any class or event at Unity. And if you want to join us today, there's a nice bookstore across the patio. We have coffee in there. I tasted it earlier. It's delicious. And we have a really good selection of metaphysical and spiritual books also. And we get a chance to say hello to you.
And our connection cards are available in the newcomer packet, but they're also available in the front pocket in the seat in front of you. And these are for everyone. And with this card, you can submit a prayer request, and our prayer team will pray with you throughout the week.
You may also share feedback or request information, so please place your card in the basket along with the offering. For those of you viewing online, connection cards are available on the Watch Live page of our website. Thank you for participating. We have several activities, and we do have quite a few to highlight this holiday season. Unity is opening our hearts with 2 families through the Adoptive Family Organization. You guys probably know that's kind of my baby. We started it last week. We have 2 families, but they're big families, so we have 13 individuals, 8 in one and 5 in the other. And the gifts they asked for total 42 gifts. And as of last week, there were only 7 left, and there's a couple more been spoken for at the 9:30, so I think we're down to 4 or 5. I'm going to go over maybe just right over here against the wall. It won't be a big lineup of people, but I encourage you to come and be able to participate in this and just sign up for one of the remaining gifts. And I also would say to the rest of you, whether you got a gift, whether you're doing a gift or not, if you feel motivated, buy a gift card, like a not Kmart, but Amazon or Target particularly, or Safeway or whatever gift card, and I'll bring them to the center in December when I bring the gifts out there, and they may divide them up to other families or whatever, but it's a nice way of participating also.
Join us today at 2 o'clock for our final concert of the season, and this is going to feature our acclaimed singer, songwriter, Jami Lula. And as you know, Jami is known for his soulful blend of gospel, pop, and spirit-filled music. Jami's music uplifts and inspires us. So come experience his rich vocals and empowering lyrics and a heart-opening performance that celebrates love, beauty, positivity, and the transformative power of music. Before the concert, we'll gather for a community potluck in our community room, and please bring a dish to share, and you can pick up a flyer for more information.
Imagine Unity as an example of the world we dream of: whole, safe, equitable, healed, and connected. On Saturday, November 22nd, that's coming up, and Sunday the 23rd, we will gather for a powerful 2-day community-wide workshop. It's titled The Alchemy of Healing and Reconciliation in Beloved Unity Community. Together, we'll embody unity through a sacred healing process between men, women, and across all genders, guided by world-class facilitators. This is all for a love offering in any amount, but we do need to have people sign up so we know who's coming and how many are coming. There's a flyer with a QR code that will take you right to the website, and you can sign up, or you can go into the Unity website. Sharish will be on the outside after. If you know Sharish, tall. Oh, there he is, tall with a white sweater on. Sharish had a very profound experience with the process earlier this year, right here, and he'd be glad to talk to you about how exciting it is for him and how much he's got out of it. Thank you, Sharish.
Share your gratitude with your spiritual family at our heartfelt and uplifting annual Thanksgiving Eve gratitude service on Wednesday, November 26th at 7 p.m. Come get infused with gratitude and leave uplifted in this full spirit of the Thanksgiving season.
And then you can come back at noon on Thanksgiving Day for a festive potluck meal. Share in conversation, laughter, and joy as we give thanks. All are welcome. Please sign up on the patio after the service or send an email to office@unityofwalnutcreek.org.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
We're thrilled that Dr. Elaine Aaron, author of Highly Sensitive People, is going to be here. She's an expert in the field of sensitivity, and she's coming to Unity on December 7th. She has a new book out. It's called Spirituality Through a Highly Sensitive Lens, and it says it all. Elaine will explore sensitivity and the path to deep presence, whether you're highly sensitive or love someone who is. This enlightening afternoon will open hearts and deepen compassion.
Yeah, and I hear a little woo there. That's going to be very good. And now, as we prepare for a time of meditation, please join me in taking a conscious breath and affirming our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. We begin with music, followed by guided meditation and silence.
Oh, great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. Oh, great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Oh, great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. Oh, great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one and all in one. No greater blessing, neither moon or sun. No greater blessing. Oh, great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. Oh, great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one and all in one. No greater blessing, neither moon nor sun. No greater blessing, no greater blessing, no greater blessing.
So let's breathe into the great blessing of the Great Spirit. The Spirit that permeates our entire being, that arises up from within us, that surrounds us, that shows up in the faces of fellow human beings and animals. Becoming present to love with every breath. The love that animates our being, the love that supports us, connects us to one another. And so let every breath be a breath that receives and gives love. Part of the great exchange that refreshes us and renews us, that allows us to give it away and then receive again. And in that beautiful exchange of love from within and all around and through the breath, there becomes a natural bubbling up of gratitude. I am grateful for my life, my body, mind, and heart, for this community, for the earth beneath our feet. I invite you to begin your own silent entourage of gratitude. Speaking in your heart whatever is true for you this morning. I am grateful. It's returning to the heart with another grateful breath, another exchange of love. And on the out-breath, we send out our love and our gratitude wherever we wish to bless. The far reaches of the planet or someone near and dear to us. We thank you, Great Spirit, for the opportunity to be able to bless so easily and effortlessly with a breath or a word or thought. And to drink that blessing back in as we breathe into our heart space and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
Oh, great Spirit of love, giving freely, refusing none. Oh, great Spirit of love, eternal goodness flows like a flood. Love is all is love. Join us in singing the music of one and all in one. No greater blessing neath moon or sun. No greater blessing. No greater blessing. No greater blessing. Good morning, y'all. I wrote this for my son a couple years ago, called What If You Knew? What if it's true? You have everything you need. What if it's true? You could live your wildest dreams. Will you run and hide or go along for the ride? Test the current and tide in the ocean of possibilities. What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew that the brilliance you're mining is you? What if you knew? What if you knew that the infinite thriving is you? What if it's true that there's never need for shame? What if it's true that there's power in your pain? Will you run and hide or go along for the ride? Just the current and tide in the ocean of possibilities. What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew that the brilliance you're mining is you? What if you knew? What if you knew that the infinite thriving is you? Shadow and light, yin and the yang are all part of you. The past is the past, we all make mistakes. It isn't your truth. Come on, Tyler. What if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew that the brilliance you're mining is you? What if you knew? What if you knew design is divine, yes, it's true. What if you knew? What if you knew? Oh, what if you knew? What if you knew? What if you knew?
Jami, Lula's back. Thank you. Thank you. What a blessing you are. And you're not that far, right? Are you in LA? LA. We're going to have him back sooner. 8 years is way too long. Good morning, everyone. How are you today? I hear all kinds of answers. And that is the beauty, right, of this journey we've been on, is there is a unique soul here represented by everyone who's here and everyone who's online and those who are outside. And together, how beautiful we are. How brilliant individually and collectively, right? What if we knew? What if we really knew? I mean, I know we sort of know, but what if we really knew? Are you feeling mystical yet? Yes. We've been 7 weeks on this journey, and at the beginning, our intention was to claim it. Now, what's unique about this journey is that we're not just saying, I'm a mystic. We're saying, I'm just an ordinary old mystic. Doesn't sound like much of an affirmation, Unity style, does it? But it has a lot of depth in it. And it is because that idea of being an ordinary mystic reminds us again and again that it is an ordinary life that we realize all the spiritual goodies are available to us. That we don't have to go to the mountaintop. We don't have to meditate in the cave. Those things are fine and wonderful if that's what we feel called to do. And we can be just as enlightened folding the laundry and doing the dishes and smiling at the person at the grocery store. Yeah. And so it is about that. It's about celebrating our embodied experience, our human experience as a sacred walk, and recognizing that a lot of the ways that we separate it out and say, well, you know, in order to really live the spiritual life or become enlightened, we must, you know, transcend somehow. And this journey is about saying it's deeper than that. It's about the process of depth rather than the process of out into the cosmos. It's all good, and it's all God, and it's all comes together anyway. But we're turning our focus more to every day, every moment. Oh my gosh, I just have to take a moment to look at that little outfit. Carolyn, just hold that outfit up. That's going to one of the families. See, now here's an ordinary mystical moment, right? Because I see that little outfit coming in, and I'm like, oh, imagining the little being who's going to wear that and be so pleased, and the mom and dad who are going to be, or parents, who are going to be so excited about seeing this sweet little being in that outfit. So there it is, right? That this is what we're talking about in the ordinary mystical life. That something comes into our purview, that we meet something along the way, and it has that experience of awe, of wonder, of sacredness, of beauty, of life. And we are present long enough to drink it in. And that's really the key, is that we stay present long enough to really drink it in. To say, wow, life in everyday moments is pretty profound. And therefore, I, as an ordinary mystic, am having a brilliant, profound experience, even when it's hard. And we're going to talk a little bit about the hard times today, too. So it's enough. I guess that's another way to say it. It's enough to just wrap our arms around the physicality of life, the experience of the human condition and the human experience and the human relationships, and say, it's all here. All that spirituality that we talk about and that many of us aspire to is right here, right now. It doesn't take the right book, the right workshop, the right mountaintop. Those things are great. It's just about being present to what's now and what's here and beginning to open ourselves to it. So as we mentioned earlier, this is the 7th in our journey, the last of our journey officially in this topic of ordinary mysticism based on the book by Mirabai Starr. But, it's important that we also notice that that ordinary title isn't a downplaying. That ordinary title isn't about saying, in fact, there's a miracle here. Everything is holy now, as we've sang throughout the series as well. Recognition that all these very simple things are quite magnificent too. And it can happen for us that we experience and become aware of and present to the ordinary in the mystical days when in a moment of silence or stillness. It can also happen when there's like a staggering transformation going on, right? It doesn't preclude that. It doesn't say we're kind of, tamping everything down here. We can have an amazing transformative metamorphosis, if you will, kind of experience. Consider for a moment the caterpillar who becomes the butterfly. It's a dramatic transition, to say the least, right, for this butterfly. And to become from that little, typically little inching green creature and to completely transform itself and to leave behind the old shell of itself, that casing just hanging on a tree somewhere, and come out of that chrysalis after a few weeks and emerge as this beautiful creature. Now, as human beings, we tend to focus on the butterfly and say, oh, wow, the beautiful butterfly, right? Less often do we look at the caterpillar and go, oh, wow, that gorgeous caterpillar, that amazing caterpillar. But really, it's the same creature. And ultimately, that's true for us too, right? When we metamorphosize, when we transform ourselves, we can also recognize the magnificence of the old self and not just discard it, right? Not just leave it behind. So ordinary mystics are real, I just wonder about that little butterfly. When she looks back on who she was, does she feel any grief? Is she kind of sad that she doesn't get to be her old self and do some of the things that she used to do? Like, for example, eat. She only drinks now. Now, if that were me, I would feel very sad because I love to eat. I don't know about you, but a caterpillar, like binge eating. I mean, we're not talking about just a little eating. We're talking about binge leafy eating a lot. Delicious to a caterpillar, no doubt. And so she might, and I always have this like kind of animation, not always, but often. In this moment, I'm having a little animated thing that I had at 9:32 of the butterfly with her, just kind of her little top legs on her hips, kind of like, I don't get to eat anymore, And I feel kind of sad about that. So it's just kind of recognizing that there is grief, and that's part of our experience. It's a intimate and beautiful and loving and sacred part of our human experience. So often in our culture, we try to push that away, although it's coming more and more to the forefront. Have you noticed that? Like Anderson Cooper has like a whole podcast on grief, and he talks about it on his news program, and other people are starting to really come together more around the idea of grief. And we used to hold grief workshops here, or try, and nobody would come. It's kind of like saying, depressed? Come on. And everybody's like, no, I don't want to talk about that. So, it seems contrary to our New Thought positive path for spiritual living, but it's not. That's the thing, right? It's not, because what we are talking about isn't just some kind of like surfacey kind of positivity. And I think people do sometimes think that when they get into Unity. And I've heard people say, oh, I got to put my mask on and go to Unity. I don't feel great, but I got to be happy. And it's like, oh, now that makes me feel sad, right? Because what we really want is to cultivate a place that says, come as you are. And as you are is met with love. As you are is met with whatever encouragement, leave you alone, whatever it is that you need, a hug, whatever, however it is that we show up, come anyway. We want to cultivate that kind of community where you feel like you are on an ordinary mystic's path and you're with fellow ordinary mystics who get it, who are real and authentic and realize there are times when I am going through a major transformation and I am a butterfly and I am thrilled about who I have become and the beauty and the possibilities and the things I can do now and the places I can fly now. And I'm feeling pretty sad about the door I just closed. And that is welcome too. And it's a welcoming of this into our own experience, into our own hearts, into our own everyday lives that is a part of what nurtures our wholeness, our humanity, as well as our spirituality. I even hesitate to name them in such a separate way because that's the whole point. They're not separate, right? This is about embodiment of the Spirit. This is about the wholeness of who we are and a celebration of that, and a celebration of the beauty of life in the difficult times, in the incredible times, in the times we no longer label as either one, but we just meet it as it is and celebrate it or honor it or allow it or appreciate it or love it as it is. Love ourselves, each other, whatever has come before us. So it is about this ordinary mysticism being a real walk. So we'll celebrate those times of metamorphosis, those times of transformation. And what I want to talk about today is there can be kind of a fallout to the metamorphosis. There can be another side to it that we want to recognize. When I was in my 20s, I used to love to go to block parties in Chicago with my friends. You've been to these kinds of parties where they block off the streets and there's a band and we would meet up there and we go get our food from the street vendors and our drinks and we go over by the band getting ready for blasting music and to dance the afternoon away. And usually it was summertime, it was hot, it was sweaty, it was loud, and it was like vibrating city energy. And, in my 20s, that was a rush. I loved that, But I also, around that time, was starting to go to Unity. And I was getting introduced to meditation. And so the next time a block party came around and I went, while I was excited to have found Unity and discovered meditation, I was really disappointed at how I was reacting. The music was so loud, and I felt so claustrophobic in the crowd. And I was like, what is going on? And so the next time I tested it again, same thing. Do you ever have this experience? Yeah, so we become, talk about highly sensitive people, right? We can become more sensitized. This could be a downside in the world, at least of having to then make some changes for ourselves, right? To make some shifts in our lives. So I didn't want to give up all the fun, but I was trying to fit back in, like as if I had become this delicate little butterfly and I was trying to go back on my branch as a caterpillar and see if I could get back in that casing where I was in that chrysalis, right? We know how this works, right? We get to this point and then we say, well, yeah, okay, this new thing is good, but I still want this old thing. And all the mystics that have come before us say, what is the compulsory part of this journey? Surrender. There's a letting go involved of some kind, in some way, over and over again. If you read any of the mystics, you're going to find that message. Surrender, give over, let go. And we have to let go of something sometimes. And so recognizing that part of the journey of us developing and evolving, which we cannot stop that train, part of being an ordinary mystic isn't just going, okay, we're sort of stuck in this space. No, we cannot stop ourselves from evolution, and we wouldn't want to. It's not just about beingness, it's still about becomingness as well. It's just how we're viewing it, how we're experiencing it. And the ordinary mystic says, oh, this is wonderful. This new beingness is wonderful. This taking flight is wonderful. And I got something here that I'm having to give up. And I've got feelings about that. And I'm not sure how I'm going to work with that now. I mean, it may sound trivial, my example that, I was kind of like, where am I going to dance now? Where am I going to listen to music? Who am I going to hang out with? So but those things are questions. We come to those questions, whatever they are, for whatever the topic for us, and the thing to look for is, what is it about the thing I'm giving up, if I am giving up something, that I still want, that I just need to find a new form for? And those are good, valid questions for us to consider for ourselves, both the feelings about it, but also is there something here, It doesn't mean you have to stop dancing, right? But for me, I was also being pulled into the new journey during that time. So there was a kind of, we'll figure that out later, because right now, on Sunday mornings when my friends are sipping coffee and sleeping in, I'm heading over to Unity. And I'd be, walking, I don't remember now, it was like 20 or so minute walk, and there was like that morning chill in the Chicago air, that crisp air, and I could feel the newness of that. And it didn't matter to me that I was taking that walk alone, and it didn't matter to me, that none of that mattered because I was so compelled. Did you feel that way when you came into New Thought or to Unity or to wherever you're arriving these days? That there was a kind of a pull. It was like, oh no, there's something there for me. And there's teachings, there's something about these teachings. And so that became more important. The new emergent way of being became more important. And the question's important, the feeling's important, but that recognition. So I guess all of this to say, it's sort of just like a fair warning, if you will, that as we evolve and as we emerge, as we go through sometimes those fast metamorphoses, that there might be a process here to deal with the old, to deal with the change, to deal with the feelings, to ask the questions. And it's all part of the process. Part of what happens to us when we wake up, I think, to more of our mystical selves, is that there is a kind of death in the midst of the new life. And that's part of it too. It's that recognition that this too is part of it as well. So now what? We don't know, so we maybe keep trying to go back to the old ways. You ever do that? Maybe years have gone by, and then you go back to your old coping skills, which were never very skillful, after all. But you remember, like, that was kind of good, so I'm going to go back there, and I'm going to try that again. And it's like it just doesn't really work anymore, because you're a butterfly now. It doesn't make being a caterpillar a bad thing. Being a caterpillar was a great thing, but now you're a butterfly. So I've been jumping all over the place, sorry. So I just kind of wanted to see where we left off, if we left off anywhere, I don't know. The thing about it is we don't always get a handbook. Somebody doesn't, you don't walk in and somebody hands you the handbook of metamorphosis and says, these are the things you could expect. Maybe there's some butterflies out there that would have appreciated getting handed that, or even a caterpillar, like at the beginning of it all, to say, here's what you might expect to have happen to you in the next couple weeks. Because it happens fast for the caterpillar, right? A couple weeks in the chrysalis and boom, you're out. And Mirabai talks about how the caterpillars are sort of like, whoa, their feet come out and they're just sort of disoriented, as you can imagine, like they've become a whole different being. They went from being this rather plump, ideally, because they've been binge eating, caterpillar to this like tiny thin body, and they're all wings now, So you can imagine, like, that's a lot to get used to. So there's just sort of this kind of clumsy falling around for the butterfly at first when they come out before they can open up their wings and kind of get into their whole new being. So if you imagine that somebody would have come along and said to the caterpillar, all this stuff is going to happen to you. I mean, you're going to become this winged being, and you're not going to be eating anymore. And I am stuck on that one. And you're gonna, your body's gonna be really thin, and you're gonna be all wings, and you're gonna, instead of you're traveling in your day, your journey being branch to branch, which is like a big journey for a caterpillar, right? You're gonna be flying thousands of miles across nations. Now, can you imagine this caterpillar? It'd be like a little caterpillar, foot up, a little wave, a turning and inching away, shaking of his little green head, saying to himself, the crazy creatures you meet along the path. Like, how fantastical. That's not happening to me. And then boom, right? And maybe you too are one of those people that thinks, yeah, but not me. That's not going to happen to me. It's like when we say, you come into Unity or New Thought and people start saying, yeah, you're like Jesus. What? You've got to be kidding me. No, I'm just like waving my little cat. That's how I was when I first came in, inching away. But I couldn't stay away because it was compelling, because it felt true. And that's what we're paying attention to, is what's true for me, what's resonant for me, what lights up my soul, what intrigues me, there's something that fires in the brain or the heart that goes, I don't know, that actually sounds like it could be true. Or I'm curious anyway, I want to know more. That's kind of the journey that I had been on during those early 20s and still am, actually, in many ways. And maybe you are too. So there is a thing that Emily Cady, Dr. Emily Cady was an early writer of Unity, very formative actually in our Unity beliefs. And she wrote what became a Unity classic called Lessons in Truth. And Emily Cady was, she said it like it was in some ways. I mean, it was the power of the principled teachings that we know, the faith-filled teachings. But she had a chapter in Lessons in Truth called Chemicalization. Now, over the years, the editions sometimes had the chemicalization chapter, and sometimes it was pulled. And there's a reason for that. I'm not sure all the reasons for that. But chemicalization, but let me tell you what it is first. So it's the basic idea that you begin to immerse yourself in new ideas and new thoughts. And you've had this whole library of something to the contrary that is embedded in your mind and your cells of your body and so on. And so while it sounds intriguing, you've got like this whole library of stuff that says, no, it's not like that, it's like this. Because you've got all these impressions over time that told you otherwise. Maybe the church authorities or your parents or your teachers. And so there's this kind of thing going on inside of your body and your mind that's saying yes to something new, but you've got 1,000+ impressions that say it's not that way to get through. It's like slogging through all of that, right? So what we need is more impressions of that new idea to keep trying it on, to see if we balance it out. What Katie talked about with chemicalization is that process might actually make you feel sick. You might actually have physical symptoms that come up in this processing because your mind and body are processing so much. So they could show up as cold symptoms or congestion or nausea or tummy problems. And she was just saying, hey, folks, she wasn't saying like everybody's going to have this, but just be aware that you might start to have some of these experiences. So I don't know if the higher-ups at Unity, whatever, who was making those decisions at the time, thought, oh, well, we don't want to put this negative expectation in people's minds, and so let's take it out. I don't know what all the reasons were, but, there were it came back in, it came back out, and maybe it was this idea that, well, we're a positive path for spiritual living, and we don't want to flavor that experience for people to have this negative expectation. So who knows what all the reasons are? But the truth is there's no stopping us on the path. So recognizing that there is a fullness to the experience, there is a wholeness to the experience is really the point, right? And recognizing that you too might have these experiences. You may be having them right now. You may be taking in new ideas right now about the spiritual path or about your experience in life and wondering about it. I'm having some of those experiences, and maybe you are too. And it's like, what's going on here? What is this really? Am I making this up, or is this really happening inside of me? I had a whole conversation like that during the first meditation today. So, it's what we work with, right? Because we are in this together, and we are in this individually. We are on the ever-unfolding soul experience of the metamorphosis of the butterfly. Sometimes it goes slow, and sometimes it's bam. And in the process, we're sitting there trying to figure it out. And usually that's not the idea, right? Figure it out, because figure it out is up in the mind. It's experience it, it's feel it, it's allow it, it's work with it, it's give over to it and surrender and be in the soup of it all. That's what an ordinary mystic does. One of the big ideas that was probably hardest for me and maybe for all of you is this idea, I am divine. I mean, when I came into Unity and people were saying, you're like Jesus, that was hard enough, and then you're also divine. It's like a lot of us are fighting against hundreds of thousands of impressions that say otherwise. You're born of original sin, for example, or you're, unworthy. And so to come into this idea is like something about that feels true. And I got some stuff to get through here. Anybody relate to this? And maybe you've even had experiences of chemicalization. Maybe you didn't even know what it was or didn't call it that. But maybe having a heads up is helpful. And I give thanks to Emily Cady for pointing it out. There's a point, where we might, as I said before, keep trying to go back to the old way, keep trying to go back to the old caterpillar self. And we'll find that we can't really do it. It's not really possible to do it anymore. We can't fold up our wings and put ourselves back in the chrysalis and reverse everything and go back to the old way of being. And so there's a process there that we are in, and if we then try to put ourselves in those situations, what we end up doing is hiding. Stuffing part of ourselves in the closet, so to speak, and hiding significant parts of ourselves. So then we're hiding our truest selves from ourselves. And that doesn't generally feel very good, does it? And so it comes to a point where we just have to allow. Like Aeneas Nin famously said, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in the bud was much more painful than the risk it took to blossom. There comes a time when it's just, we have to open up. And maybe we don't even get to the point where we have to open up because we're excited to open up. But all of it is a part of this journey. So really, in many ways, the ordinary mystic's journey is a widening of the path. It's an opening to say, it's all holy. And I am having this expansive, deepening experience by recognizing that all these things happening in life are a part of the journey of the mystic, a part of the journey of who I am. So we've talked a lot about, of course, during the last 7 weeks, what that looks like and who an ordinary mystic, as ordinary mystics ourselves, how that shows up for us. And it can come in a lot of different packages, but there tends to be some general things that we're going to find that we tend to see and feel the beauty and the sacred and the grief of life more fully. And whatever is present, we notice it, we meet it, we appreciate it in a whole different way. And what I think we find too is that connections are sweetened and relationships are enriched. Why? Because we're more present to them. Because that's what it's all about, is just being present to what can happen, while we're folding laundry. I remember once crying when I was folding my sister's laundry. And I thought it was so strange, but I just suddenly felt all this love for her. And so it's like, it may not always be that profound of a moment where we recognize, but it can be a slowing down to realize what this all represents that I'm doing. In service, in connection, in relationship, in sacred opportunity to be a giver to life. That's really what we come to as an ordinary mystic. Earth becomes illumined, and everyday tasks upon earth do as well. Mirabai Starr writes this. I love her lyrical kind of way of writing, her poetic expression. She says, "You become an explorer of the sacred ordinary," as this mystic, "a connoisseur of the holy mess, and a devotee of what is." And that's really what we've been about these last 7 weeks, and what I hope we will continue to be about more and more and more as we claim this really significant and powerful, and I'm going to say wholesome, meaning like that holistic, wholesome way of understanding and experiencing the spiritual, the human as one. So let's go ahead and affirm together and carry on the good work together. Oh, okay. So invite us to say this together. I am an explorer of the sacred ordinary and a devotee of what is. I am an ordinary mystic. And so it is.
Here we are at the end of our 7-week journey together, Kristen and everybody. Thank you. It's been a real trip, and I know everybody's gotten a lot out of it. And what I sense from you through this is you have an image for us, a vision for us, a whole vision, a together vision. It's a part of the Jerry work. It's part of this. Mm-hmm. You're not hiding it from us any longer, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
I also want to comment on the butterfly in our midst. I'm positive you were a butterfly in a former life.
Still got the wings.
And when you were talking and you go like this as you're talking about the butterfly, I was also wanting to turn around and see the back. Yes. And you and Jami complement each other.
Oh, yeah.
It just is a feast for the eyes and for the soul. Thank you.
So whether you have a joy or concern in your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains, I jumped ahead of you. You were commenting.
I was commenting on something else. Our prayer chaplains are available after the service today to offer you prayer support. And if you're a prayer chaplain serving today, please stand. Our prayer chaplains wear the beautiful purple stoles.
So whether you have a joy or concern in your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness.
Now let us open our hearts to the practice of giving. I invite you to prepare your gifts as we align with the universal law of circulation. As we give, we shall receive. In truth, there is no lack of limitation. Abundance is our true nature.
For your convenience, there are a variety of ways to give to Unity, which are shown on the screen up here, and the screen's over here. You can also, I'm jumping ahead here. People watching online, you can use the donate button on the Watch Live page. We encourage everyone to set up free, regular giving through your bank's bill pay system.
I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your heart, in your hand, and repeat our affirmation after together. Divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
Thank you.
We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. I am. Oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, we are the harvest we reap. Oh, we are the harvest we reap.
What a blessing, Jami. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. Yes, and we match. Oh, and what a blessing you all are. Thank you for your giving, for your generosity, for the generosity of spirit, and just how you show up as you are in any given moment, whole and perfect in our eyes. And we also give thanks for the process of giving, which is that constant flow of circulation of this good. That as we give, we do indeed receive, and as we give, it also multiplies. So let's bless it together and multiply it together. We give thanks for the ever-increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now. So it is.
All right, let's bring in the kids. We are a circle of love. We are a circle of light. Come join the circle of love. Come join the circle of light. The light in you and the light in me are one. The light in you and the light in me are one.
Have one.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Allison. You want to tell us about what's been happening over in your neck of the woods?
Sure, we had a nice small group today, but my girls and I, we talked about gratitude and all the things we're grateful for this time of year. And we really honed in on that gratitude is a skill that we have to practice so that it's like a tool in the toolbox. And the more we use it, the easier it is to pull out that gratitude perspective.
So true.
Yeah. What were you grateful for?
Family.
Yeah? How about you?
Earth and family.
Yeah.
And the teen group, we talked about family and expectations. River, do you want to say anything?
We read a story as well, and basically it was about this 12-year-old that was the youngest in their family, and they got a dog named One-Eyed because it had one eye, and they wanted to give it a bath, but their mom had just cleaned out the tub, so it smelled like Clorox, so instead they washed their dog in the toilet and flushed it down. It's okay, only half of it went down, it's fine, don't worry. And then we colored some stuff, and yeah.
I'm left with more questions, are you not? Sometimes it's part of the path, right? So let's bless our youth, our teachers, and our children together. We have a slide, Lariah. Thank you. Children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you.
Beautiful. So please rise in body or spirit as we get ready to sing our closing song. You can take this in through your heart, with the hands on your heart. Check to see if the person next to you likes to hold hands. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever you are, God is. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever you are, God is. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. And all is well.
You are the light and the love and the sacred, ordinary mystic on earth right now. So let your light shine. Have fun and spread joy.
Come to the potluck. Everybody's welcome. We have plenty of food. Doesn't matter if you didn't bring a dish. And come back for the concert at 2 o'clock. Thank you.